Hello, once again. This is Pastor Shane Okimoto with Waikia Baptist Bible Church. I'm joined with a special guest today, one that I believe everybody knows and loves, Evan Klein. Evan, would you like to say hello?
Hey, great to not be with you all, but I hope that we can do this interview and it'll be real fun.
All right, yeah, I'm looking forward to it also. Evan, how old were you when you first came to visit us and visit your grandma and grandpa when we first got to know you? Do you remember how old you were?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do some quick math. That was around 2010, 2012. So I must have been, yeah, around 10, 12, 13. I actually was digging through some old photos and I found something that maybe is more recognizable to all of you. This is uh, Bob and Terry Oka, and that was me in the middle. So yeah, that's probably a more recognizable form.
Yeah, you've grown quite a bit since then. How tall are you now?
6 foot. Yeah, I can reach the avocados in the tree out back now. I don't need a ladder or anything. So yeah, I've grown quite a bit since then.
Well, that's awesome. And you are 22 years old now,
Yeah, that's right.
and you're graduating from college. Tell us about what college you're going to, how that's been, and what's been going on with that, and what your plans are coming up.
Yeah. So I think COVID-19 has affected everyone in different ways. So for me as a university student, things ended a little bit sooner than we anticipated. So currently, I'm enrolled at Calvin University in Michigan. In Michigan, we use the hand as a outline of the state, and it's right on the west side of the state. So I'm in a town called Grand Rapids, Michigan, and absolutely love it there. I'm studying biology and philosophy, going into medicine as a pre-PA student. So I just am finishing up my last year, my last semester at Calvin, and was supposed to graduate in about 2 weeks. Lord willing, I still will graduate, but we just won't have a ceremony like we were hoping. So currently, I'm back in Oregon, Portland, Oregon, with my whole family, just kind of taking it easy. I'm still doing online courses, which is kind of new for everyone. Um, Instead of sleeping in for class, you just maybe have an internet connection, and so that's not so good. So there's a lot of things that we're all trying to work through as a university community, but yeah, just loving the opportunity to continue learning and to be able to go to university. But now that chapter's sort of coming to a close.
Well, great. Congratulations. Well, maybe I should save the congratulations for a couple of weeks. But we all hope that you will be graduating. What's next for you?
Yeah, great question. So right now I'm hunkering down in Portland with my family. And long term, I really want to go into medicine. While I was at school, there was an opportunity to work with an assisted living home, and just absolutely fell in love with that population. So I think internal medicine, geriatrics is where I want to go. So in the future, that will look like a graduate school, a 2 to 3 year program in order to become a physician assistant. And now in the meantime, I'm just getting some hospital experience, gaining some experience in what it looks like to be on the other side of healthcare, to be administering care in different settings. So right now I'm looking for a job. The market's a little bit tough right now. But there's some really great things that the Lord's doing here in Portland and opening up some opportunities. So yeah, I'm going to get a job pretty soon here and then hopefully apply to grad school soon after that.
Well, that's wonderful to hear. And you said you're in Portland. You're back with the family, looking for a job, and we'll be praying for you that you're able to find that job. How's all of your family doing? Is your grandma Terry with you in Oregon right now, or is she still in Michigan at this time?
My goodness, I wish Grandma Terry was still with us in Oregon. So we did a little switch where I was in Michigan and she was in Oregon. And when COVID-19 broke out, we switched places. So I came back to Oregon and she went to be with my aunt Evelyn in Michigan. So the people in my house right now, I've got my mom and dad, who I'm sure many of you guys have met. And then my younger sibling, Ryan, and my older sister, Annalise. So we're all kind of hunkered down here, but everyone's doing well. We really appreciate all the prayers, and we're thinking of you guys. I remember coming back to Waikeuka and seeing my name on the bulletin for university students that you were praying for. So that means a lot. The prayers were felt all the way in Michigan, and I continue to feel them as well. So thank you for that.
Well, wonderful. And so is your dad still working? Is he still working out of San Francisco? Is he working from home mainly? And you said Cece's at home also. She was down in the Bay Area as well, but she came back when COVID-19 hit.
Yeah, so the Lord has a funny way of drawing people back to the same place. So my dad was commuting down to San Francisco from Portland every week, and the Lord's just calling him home in this season, which is really nice. And same with my sister. She was a teacher down in California, and now she's back here in Portland working remotely. So yeah, everyone's here in the same house, which has been real nice.
Yeah, and being in the same house, it's wonderful. I'm sure that there's challenges as well, especially with much bigger bodies involved with
Yes.
them growing up as kids.
Yes.
But what kind of challenges have you faced? Not just being back at home, but dealing with everything that's been going on with COVID-19.
Yeah. I'll start with the ones in the house. I think I didn't anticipate to do this much cooking for a family as I'm doing now. So I'm learning new recipes. Ryan and I are making lasagna tonight, so that's going to be an adventure. Just fitting back into sort of a family context has been it's been really rewarding, no doubt, but difficult at times to figure out the different rhythms now that we're at home. So each person is just kind of figuring out where they belong and what they like to do. Our house isn't very big, so there's a lot of people on top of each other all the time, but it's a real blessing to be back. As far as struggles due to the pandemic, I think there's been a lot of displacement just from communities that we've grown to love, people that we're used to interacting with, and a lot of those interactions are now gone. So for me as a college student, I typically don't spend more than an hour in one place. I'm always moving around. And now I spend 24 hours in the same four walls. So that's been a lot different. And so you start to slow down and you start to have conversations with the people around you and with Jesus that you just, the busyness of life maybe didn't allow you to have. And so I think there's been a real difficult time where you have to strip away all of your routines, but also you learn to reprioritize the things that are important. So there's been a struggle and a blessing to that, for sure.
Yeah, awesome. And so we know that there's all kinds of different challenges that we're faced with at this time. We also know that, God is working through all of these challenges. Are there any specific ways that you've seen God working through these challenges in your life?
Yeah. Something that I've always thought about is, why do I not spend more time memorizing scripture? And I think for me, I've always thought that memorizing scripture was such a long process that it took a lot of time. And so I would read scripture in the mornings, but I never would take time to memorize. And now I've found myself just with more space in the mornings and in the evenings to memorize scripture. And so that has brought in a whole new side of who Jesus is, just having these scriptures sort of imprinted into your brain all the time as you're memorizing is a really great way to sort of keep the communication up with him. And so in this time of slowing down and finding new habits, I think that's one that the Lord is really encouraging me to build. So that's been really exciting. Also, I think with the church, there's a lot of exciting things that are happening. So in this time of sort of restlessness, it's difficult to not have, church community to see every week. But I think in our household, at least, there's this growing excitement for when church will resume again. And So I hope that there's this sort of awakening movement in the church where we grow to appreciate community more, and just really excited to lean back in. Hopefully come out to Hawaii soon, and see all you guys. So yeah.
Yeah, we would love to have you. If you got to quarantine somewhere, you can quarantine at my house, I guess. Uh, but yeah, I think that's so awesome to hear. I think that's something that I've experienced as well, is just, just really appreciating being able to gather together now that we can't. And, I know a lot of people have been staying connected in different ways. And this is one of the reasons why I wanted to do these different kinds of interviews with different people. So, we can see other people's faces and hear about what they've been going through. So thank you so much for doing this today. Is there anything else that you wanted to kind of add in and chime in on as we get ready to sign off?
My goodness. No, I mean, I just really appreciate Waikeuka Bible Church and all of the things that you guys have taught me all throughout the years. I just reflect on those younger years when I came out to visit, and those were some of my fondest memories. So it was all because of you guys and the special people that you are. And I continually think of you and pray for you. And am just very grateful for all that you are and all that you were in my life. Give Shane a hard time when you see him for me. I wish I could do that, but I won't be there. So yeah, blessings to all of you.
Well, I'll see if I can edit out that last part. Giving me a hard time, but yeah, it's such a blessing. Evan was part of, really a wonderful part of our church back when we were named Waikeuka Bible Church. We have changed our name to Waikea Baptist Bible Church now. I remember talking with his mom, and she said, yeah, he really came out of his shell during his time with us. And so, he's been a blessing to us, and hopefully we've been a blessing to you in so many different ways as well. But thank you once again for being part of this. And I look forward to seeing the reactions from people online. So thank you, Evan. You have a wonderful day.
Of course. Take care.